One evening when the sun went down and the jungle fire was burning, down the tracks came a hobo hiking and he said, boys, I'm not turning.
De bijna 5-jarige Jack is nog nooit buiten kamer geweest. Het versterkte tuinhuisje waar hij en zijn moeder worden vastgehouden in de psychologische thriller Room.
I guess they still can't hear us. Do you remember how Alice wasn't always in Wonderland?
She fell down, 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 deep in a hole.
Right, well, I wasn't always in room. I'm like Alice. Now we've got a chance.
I'm scared.
I know.
So much in this film depends on the relationship between Ma and 5-year-old Jack, played by Brie Larson and Jacob Tremblay. What did you do to have that work out so well?
You can't force a child to make friends with somebody. I think the clever thing that we did was we put them in the same world and we let Jake take his time in kind of reaching out to Brie. And so what we did was, we met 3 weeks or so before we got the two of them to Toronto where we were shooting. We went out for pizza that night with a bunch of people. We made sure they were sitting sort of near each other. And Jake, smart little boy, knew that, of course, he was going to be working with this girl, Brie. So in his own time, he started sort of asking her questions, so what's your favourite film? And, right, and what's your favourite colour? And do you like Lego? And she said, oh, I love Lego. So we were living in the same apartment building. So in the evenings, Jake would invited Brie over to do Lego with her. And she's a really warm, funny, goofy person.
But no mother, no
kid
brother.
of her own. It's a no kid brother. It's extraordinary. She managed to, she's such a great actress. She managed to, think her way into that. And even in the course of the month or so where they became really close, that was enough for her to start to, feel her way through what's it like to have a relationship with a kid like this? What is it? How does it work? How do they relate to you? And so she extrapolated from that experience and really kind of constructed a very, very believable mother-son relationship from that.
Do you remember how Alice wasn't always in Wonderland?
She fell down, 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 deep in a hole.
Right, well, I wasn't always in room. I'm like Alice. I was a little girl named Joy.
Nah.
And I lived in a house with my mom and my dad. You would call them Grandma and Grandpa.
What house?
A house. It was in the world. And there was a backyard, and we had a hammock. And we would swing in the hammock, and we would eat ice cream.
A TV house?
No, Jack, a real house, not TV. Are you even listening to me? When I was a little older, when I was 17, I was walking home from school.
Where was I?
You were still up in heaven. But there was a guy, he pretended that his dog was
What
sick.
guy?
Old Nick. We call him Old Nick. I don't know what his real name is. But he pretended his dog was sick.
What's the dog's name?
Jack, there wasn't a dog. He was trying to trick me, okay? There wasn't a dog. Old Nick stole me.
I want a different story.
No, this is the story that you get.
Jacob, he is 8 years old. He's not 5 years old.
He's not 5, he's 7 when we started shooting.
7 even?
Yeah.
Because a 5-year-old could never do what he had to do?
No, I don't think a 5-year-old can act being 5. I think you need a slightly older kid who can remember what it's like to be that much younger. And he really got into that and behaving. We worked a lot on what the difference is between him age 7 and him aged 5. And he could process that himself. He's a very bright boy. But the great thing is that he still has this baby face and he hadn't changed in the way that some 7-year-olds have, so that he's very, very believable as a 5-year-old, but he has the stamina and that extra bit of self-awareness that a 7-year-old has.
Did you also talk to him about what was going on in the film, the whole story?
Didn't talk to him about stuff that would be disturbing for him or unsettling for him. So as far as he was concerned, it fits. It's a story that fits the model of many great fairy tales. You have a place where two good people live, and then they're kept by somebody evil. And that's like every fairy tale where there's a dark forest and a warm cottage, and in the forest there's some monster. And so for Jake, that was a really, really uncomplicated setup.
Sometimes I miss it.
Wasn't it awfully small?
It went every direction, all the way to the end. It never finished. And Ma was always there. But it was smaller in wardrobe.
What did you do in wardrobe?
Sleep. When old Nick came.
It is based on a book by Emma Donoghue, which was completely told through the eyes of Jack, of
Yeah.
a 5-year-old. Were you afraid you might lose that magic when you were making a film?
That was probably the biggest challenge in making the film, was how do you... It's very important that it's Jack's story. I mean, that's what makes it so unusual. That's what makes it optimistic. And at the same time, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to try and use some trick to... I know some people had spoken to Emma, the author, about, you know, using pieces of animation or being able to go into the dreams or fantasies of the boy. But I thought if you do that, you'll just distance the audience from what film is brilliant at, which is just placing you in a room with people, bringing you close to people. If you become too... you know, if you went all Tim Burton on it, I think it wouldn't be as strong a film. And so my belief was that if we just very subtly bring the point of view to Jack, allow small amounts of voiceover, only understand the things that he understands, keep other things away from us, that actually, and spend time looking at him, being with him, then you will capture in a very filmic way a sense of the boy's point of view.